Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here with Jason Blaha Strength and Fitness, and once again it's time for my client Ted's Conjugate vlog. A quick reminder, if you guys will please click like and drop me a comment down below, I'd appreciate it. So we started off with a nice wide grip pen bench, right? I want him to lower it to the pins, ramp up to a max until it got to a max, and that's how we do it on max effort work. Afterwards, I'm having him do pause bench. I'm having him do pinkies on the rings here. I want him to be a little bit wider. We've got to continue to build his chest up. Obviously, he's at the heaviest body weight we've ever been at. Now, he is choosing to bulk faster than I would personally like, but it doesn't matter. He's okay with a little extra body fat gain. He still had visible abs. So the funny thing is, even though we've bulked up, he's bulked up fairly aggressively with the shirtless pictures, as you guys can see. He still has visible abs. So, we'll take the win here. But he's definitely up, over 20 pounds this year. But again, we're also getting pretty strong, right? We've got some pretty good PRs, squats are up, everything's up. So, again, what I'm having him do here, though, notice everything is lighter. Kind of what I've told him, he likes to try to go heavier on stuff. I told him, look, what I want to do, I'd like to ideally see, so I prescribe a lot of his weights. I want your non-max work and your non-speed work to be, generally most of it at 10 plus reps, right? Because a lot of times he likes to do 5s and 6s and things. And again, I'm pointing out to him, when we run Conjugate, the higher reps are really king for all of our supplemental work. So his bench work, his machine work, so stuff like, some 8s, but then 10, 12, 15s, 20s, stuff like that is really what we want, So I want all this supplemental work. I want to work with weights if we can get close to 10 reps. That's what we're going for. So even for me, I do weighted chins for, sets of 10. But so then we're doing a couple different things here. You'll notice we got 4 max effort upper day. We do a max press of some type. Then I've got pause bench. We have the strict standing press there. We've got weighted chins, and then we have axle bar rows. So again, I want to really double down on that grip training for him. I want to double down on the grip training. Now, he does like to pull hook grip when he's not using straps. So we actually did hook grip for the speed work coming up here. So it's a little heavier this week. So again, you'll see that when we get there on the last part of the workout. So then after the rowing, we do arms. He does curls, does extensions. So here he's doing strict curls up against the wall. Obviously, he's got pretty good arms overall. His arms have definitely always been a strong point. Notice especially when he's been leaner, everyone's like, dude, his arms are jacked. So when he diets down, his arms look pretty dang big. They're probably his best body part. But he likes to do stuff like this. And I let him pick his arm work like this for the most part, guys. I let him pick all his bicep work because he likes to just come up with different stuff. And it's kind of like my freedom area for him. Like, coach is going to prescribe a lot of stuff, but a lot of his arm isos, I just let him pick what he wants and bodybuild. Just bodybuild however he wants. Because again, he's very successful at it and he likes training his arms. So I just let him have at it. So here we are, guys. Remember I used to call these tricepticons when we use a barbell to do behind the head. I used to do these when I had the shoulder mobility before back in the day. I think this is a great exercise. He's doing them here with a fat bar, right? I love this exercise for powerlifters, by the way, for the unaware. Like doing those behind the head ones with a barbell. Now, we didn't get his heaviest one. He sent it to me. I don't think he realized his max on this box squat. On the actual max, we didn't record the rep. He recorded going over to the bar and everything. But then we have this one down. This is one of the ramp ups. This was not the max. So he ended up going a little heavier on this. But yeah, I'm hoping that his powerlifting meets coming up. I want to hit at least 450 on the platform on the back squat. You guys have seen some low 400s, pretty successful at this point, like 420 and stuff. We've done some rep work with like 405 and things. So we're in a good place there. I feel like we're on the cusp of being able to hit 450 on the platform. Eventually, want to get him to 5. So we do that. Then we did some good mornings, some machine squats, glute ham raises, reverse hyperextensions, all the normal stuff here. I didn't get any sled work in here this week. He did some sleds and he has at least one GPP day every week to where he gets out and does sleds and everything on top of all this. He has a really high step count also day to day, well over 10,000. well beyond that. So again, him getting the food that he's wanting, we've had to have a lot of strategies for making sure he eats clean still and doesn't compromise any health while still wanting to gain weight at the rate that he's wanting to gain it. And I want to be clear, people will say, don't you advocate really, really leaner bulks in this? Yes, but this is also a client who's making a personal decision that he wants to gain faster, fill out weight classes, and he can do cuts and recomps and stuff in those weight classes because he's just wanting to fill out the weight class at this point for competition purposes. He's not wanting to walk in and have a walk around weight that's 8 or 9 pounds under the top of his weight class. It's just, you don't want to be there in powerlifting if you can avoid it, because he wants to be, fairly serious, in terms of competing. So, just a choice he's chosen to make, and as a coach, I'm going to support that choice. But we know that he knows how to get lean. You guys have seen him in the past, super lean. And the funny thing, again, we've gained like 25 pounds. He still has abs. So, all good, guys. But we've talked at this point of no more weight gain, though. At this point, I'm like, let's just recomp, let's sit at this weight, and just kind of chill here for a bit and see if we can recomposition and keep getting stronger. But then, so after all that, we do glute ham raises. As far as the dynamic work goes, we get over to the speed day. We have speed benching, and then I throw the incline in. His lifts are mostly the same on the dynamic bench press day. So we rotate grips. So we do closed, medium, wide. I think I only have the closed grip here for the speed bench. All right, so we do this, 3 sets of each. He does incline and then largely does the same work. I don't overhead press or replace the overhead with the incline on his dynamic effort bench day. He's like, I'm still getting used to this thing. They got us this new incline and it feels awkward. I'm trying to get used to it. I kind of like that though. That's kind of cool when you have the ones that slide down and let you unrack it. It's kind of a nice feature, to be honest. Like, I've never benched on one like that, but I could see that being real cool. When I've tended to go real heavy in the past without safety arms, I've always used spotters. You guys used to see me do that in the past. I used to do incline work with like 250 for rep work and stuff. I always used a spotter in those, like when I used to train at Iron City and stuff back in the day. Got that, then we got some curls up here. Always throw some of his curls in. But notice that chest is finally filling out. Chest has been a big weak link for him. And I'm like, dude, we have to bench wider. We're going to do incline work. We're going to bench wide, because he's always closed grip benched. And I've told him, look, we got to bring that chest up and we got to bring up that wide grip bench. If you want a power lift, we have to do this because he's already strong. He already overhead presses over 200 pounds strict and stuff. So at this point, the shoulders and things are not limiting him. It is bench. The bench is being limited by that chest. So we got to keep bringing that chest up. And we are. So then dynamic effort, lower day here. A lot of the same supplemental lifts. But he did speed squats here with boxes. Went a little heavier. I prescribed slightly lighter weight, but he's like, Coach, I just really wanted to work my hook grip more, so I went ahead and went with 405 for the speed work. I'm like, that's fine in this context. As long as it moves fast, we're okay, right? We're okay with going a little heavier on the dynamic here. But I want to see good bar speeds, which we got. So then he's doing some conventional pulling, just doing 405 for his speed work. Keep in mind our max is around 530 right now. So this is still reasonable. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.